Hi, Archie. Oh, there you are. I was taking a look at this paper that your mom sent me. And in particular, we're going to look at this question right here. And we're going to talk today about the past tense. Now, I think you probably understand the past tense, but where it gets tricky is in a question. So the difference between how we use the past tense in a question and in an answer is a little bit tricky. So I want to start by talking about that. Because if you look here at this question in the story Ugly Vegetables, it says, what did the mother make? Well, make is not past tense. We know that the past tense of make would be made. And so you could look at this question and you could think, oh, make is not past tense, so my answer should not have past tense. And that's good thinking. But this is where the question in English kind of tricks you up. It's kind of tricky because there's different kinds of questions in English. One kind starts with what we call a question word. Those are the 5 W's: who, what, when, where, why, and how. So we say the 5 W's plus H: who, what, when, where, why, and how. That kind of question is a little bit different. The other kind of question has a yes or no answer. So those are the 2 kinds of questions in English. The kind that starts out with who, what, when, where, why, and the kind that is going to be answered yes or no. Now, this question starts with what? Okay, so that is a WH question. We call that a question word. And when you start a question with a question word, we are going to have, most of the time, maybe not with questions that start with who, but for most of the questions that begin with a question word, the verb is going to have 2 parts or 2 words. Now, when we learn about writing a sentence, not a question, just writing a sentence, we don't need to have 2 words for the verb. We have the subject and then we have the verb. Like, who is the sentence about and what are they doing? And so we can easily write a sentence like, Mom makes a cake. Mom makes bread. Mom makes my lunch, right? Who is it about? Mom. What is she doing? Makes. Okay, she's making something, but makes is the verb. It's just that one word, makes. But we cannot say, if we want to turn it into a question, we can't say what mom makes. We can't just say what and then subject verb, what mom makes. We always add another word to be part of the verb. So in questions, the verb is going to be made up of 2 words. And if we're making the question in past tense, we're only going to make one of those words past tense, not both of them. So it's the word that we add. It's that added word. We sometimes call it a helping verb because it's just there to help out the verb. That helping verb will be the past tense, not the other one. So if you look at this question, what do you think is the other word that's helping out the verb? What? It's not going to be what, because that's the question word. Okay, so it's not going to be this one. Okay, the mother is the subject. That's the person. That's a noun. So it can't be the mother. So what's left? What do you think are the 2 words that are part of the verb?
Make.
That's one.
And did.
That's right. So make and did are going to be the two parts of the verb, okay? So you could actually rearrange this question into a statement, into a sentence. And if you're going to do that, you would find the subject and you'd put that first, okay? So it'd be the mother, because when we're doing a statement or a sentence, when we're telling you something, not asking, but telling, we always start with the subject. So we would start with kind of the who is it about, okay? So that's the mother. And then we would have the verb. And so we could bring the did down here in the make, and we could say did make, and then we could have whatever the mother made, okay? I mean, I don't know what the answer is. It could be lunch, pizza, dinner, a mistake. Okay, so this right here.
The answer is on number 5. Question 5. The answer is on question 5 and the last word.
Oh.
Question 5, last word.
Oh, soup? So the mom made soup? Okay. All right, so you could say here, the mother did make soup. But we do not write did make. Okay, we're going to just answer with the mother, and then we don't.
The mother made soup.
Except.
It needs to be made.
That's right. So this is the part that's tricky, okay? If the question is in past tense, the answer needs to be in past tense. But in the question, the past tense is in the word did, not in the word make. So when you look at the question, what did the mother make? They're not going to make did past tense and make past tense. They're not going to say, what did the mother made? They only need to do past tense one time. So there's two parts to the verb, two words to the verb, but only one of them needs to be past tense. So when they're writing the question, this right here is the main verb. Okay, this is going to be the verb that you use in your answer. But the verb they need to add, to make it a question is did. Did is kind of like a helping verb. And we can use did for almost every question we want to make. It's a very common helping verb, okay? Did is the past tense of, do you know what word? You know what is the present tense of did? It's only 2 letters.
Do.
Yeah, that's right. Do would be the present tense, but in English, we love to use the past tense. We use it in our questions. Almost every story is written in the past tense. The Jigsaw Jones that we're reading, it's written in past tense. Almost every story you read in English is in the past tense. So we love to use the past tense when we're writing and talking and asking questions in English, okay? So we use this word did, and it's the helping verb that can help us turn something into a question. And we only have to make did past tense, and then our main verb, our action verb, will just be regular, okay? So the question is, what did the mother make? Well, here's the other thing that's tricky. Now I know, look at my page has gotten so messy. Let me see if I can clean up this page a little bit, okay? So I'm gonna come back here and see if I can repaste it. Here it is again. All right, now I am going to just do a little bit of cutting, okay? There's one. Oops. Here's 2. Here's 3. And here is 4. All right, now I'm going to get rid of this. All right, so what did the mother make? Okay. All right, what is the question word? So we're going to get rid of that one for a minute. We've got did the mother make. Now, one of those 3 is the subject. That's who it's about. And the other 2 are the 2-part verb. Which one is the subject? Nope. Try again. You can only pick one box. You can't pick 2 boxes. I got 3 boxes here. I got this one, I got this one, and I got this one. Which one of those? Yes. Now, you know, Miss Camp loves color, right? So, and you know, I used to use these for consonant, vowel, consonant. I also use red and green to help me with my subject verb. So I'm going to use red to help me remember that that is the subject. That's who it's about, okay? And that means green is going to be my verb. So I have a 2-part verb. I have this one and I have this one. Now, when we're writing a question, what we do is we take our subject. Uh-oh. Hang on. Let me see here. Ungroup. Okay. Oh, no. You know what? I cannot undo that. I just have to start over. All right, this one is gonna be da-da, and then I have to hit my hand. All right, now I have to do it over again. Okay, this one is going to be green, hit my hand, and then this one is going to be green and hit my hand. All right, now we're good. And I think I'm also gonna make sure these are locked. Okay, so usually when we're writing a sentence, we put the subject first and then the verbs come next, okay? The mother did make. Now our answer is going to be the mother makes or made something. If we want to say, what did the mother make? Then we have to bring in this other word to help us out, and we're going to put it on the other side of the subject. So when we're writing a question, we want the subject to go in the middle of, in between, a 2-part verb. So that when we're writing a question, we don't start with the subject, we start with the first part of a 2-part verb. It's like a helping verb. And we only do this when we're writing it like a question. Have you learned, has your teacher at school explained this? Do you understand this part, or is this like brand new?
I understand, but my teacher didn't taught me in school.
Oh, okay. So again, in a question, you need to have a 2-part verb, and you're going to put one part before the subject and the other part after the subject, and the subject will go in the middle, okay? Then you can use a question word or not. So you can say, what did the mother make? Okay, and you can say the mother made pizza. Or this could also be a yes/no question. You could say, did the mother make soup? Yes or no. Okay, but whether you're doing it as a yes/no question or using a question word, you're going to have a 2-part verb, this one and this one. Now, in the answer, you only need a 1-part verb, okay? So in the answer, you're only going to use this main verb. When they turn it into a question, they have to add this helping verb, okay? Does that make sense so far? Give me a thumbs up if that's good so far. Okay, if they want it to be past tense, then they're going to make the helping verb past tense not the main verb. But when you're looking at the question and trying to decide, gee, should my answer have past tense or not? Don't look at this one. You need to look at the helping verb, okay? If the helping verb is past tense, is did past tense? Yes, it's the past tense of do. So if this is past tense, then in our answer, we need to turn this one into past tense. Why do we need to turn this one into past tense? Because we're not going to use this word at all. So to give our answer, watch what I do. Let me see here. I need to duplicate this and duplicate this. Okay, so in our answer, I don't want to duplicate it 2 times. Okay, in our answer, we're just going to bring our subject down and bring this word down. So in our answer, we are not going to have this word. We're not going to have this word. We're going to start with our subject, and then we're going to use this verb, but we have to change this verb to be past tense. Why does it have to be past tense? Because this is past tense. Okay? So to change make to past tense, we would say made. Okay? So far, so good? Okay. Now, if the question word says what, that means we need to answer the question with a thing. Okay? So we're going to have that thing right here, which will, so the what is going to go right here, and that will be soup. The mother made soup. Okay? Yes, no? All right. Let me give you an example. How about I say, let me see. Let me turn this here. Okay, how about I say, what did Joe? What did Joe want?
Did Joe,
yes.
Did you have the second page?
Yeah, I'm going to go to that in just a minute.
Okay.
But first, I want to see if you can answer this question. How would you start the answer to this question? Can you tell me the first 2 words of what the answer would be?
The first word, wait. The first one. And the second one.
So would the answer be Joe want?
Joe wanted.
Yes, exactly. And why would it be Joe wanted?
Because the helping verb says so.
Yeah, what is the helping verb?
Did.
That's right. That's right. Okay, now I want to show you, before we go to the second page, I want to show you something that is a tiny bit more complicated, but first let me go back and look at your first page. Do all of these say, so when you look at this, I want you to notice something, okay? Do, present tense. So your answer will be present tense. Do, present tense. So your answer would be, when it says, why do we need? What would be the first 2 words of your answer?
What did you say?
Look at number 2. What would be the first 2 words of this answer?
We need.
That's right. The subject and then need. We don't have to say needed because this is present tense. We look at the do. Okay. Now, okay. This is what I want to talk about is number 3. So this one is a little bit trickier because number 3 does not have the word do or did. It is a question and it does have a verb, but the verb is kind of...
It has to. It has to.
No, that's not...
Yes.
Yes, I know, but this do is not part of making it a question. Okay, this is more answering the question, what? You know, it's like, what's your favorite thing? It's just, this to do is telling us more about your favorite thing. It's not about the subject verb of the answer. Okay, so forgetting this do.
It is.
That's right. That's right. So this one is quite tricky, and I want us to just take a little bit of a look at this one right here. All right, here we go. Okay, so in this question, we have a question word, which is what, okay? And then we have this, your favorite thing here. Okay, and you told us what the verb is. What's the verb? You remember what you said?
What did you say?
What's the verb?
Is.
Is. However, I'm going to get rid of the apostrophe S here, and I'm going to turn this into the verb is. Okay? So what is your favorite thing, blah, 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 okay? This part right here, Archie, that says favorite thing to do in class. Are you still there? I can't see if you're there. You've disappeared on me. Okay. You see this part here that says your favorite thing to do in class? That's all together the same thing, okay? They want to know what is blank, what is blah, blah, blah. So this whole part here that says your favorite thing to do in class, that is the blah, 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 okay? That's just all one big chunk stuck together, okay? Yes? You know what I'm talking about? Hello? Does that make sense? Okay. This part, what I'm trying to say is this part right, oopsie daisy doozy doozy, hang on. This part right here, that group of words is one thing, okay? It's this word, it's a thing. It's one thing, okay? Got it? And so the question is asking for one thing. It wants to know the answer to this question is going to be one thing, right? Yes or no? Okay, so this question is really, what is that thing? Okay, thing. So I don't want you to get all worried about this whole part of the sentence or that there's the word do in it, because the verb in this question is. Now, in English, is the most powerful verb in the entire language. Dun, 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 dun. It's like super verb, okay? Is can do something that no other verb can do. Guess what is can do? It can be the only verb in a question. It does not need a helping verb, okay? We would not say, what did is your favorite thing? Okay? Give me a thumbs up if you understand what I'm saying. So that's a no. Is that a no, a yes, or a maybe? Yes? Got that? So is, the word is right here, super verb. Okay? It does not need any help. So it can be the only verb in the question. All right? And guess what? It comes before what the subject is going to be. So when you're going to switch this around into an answer, well, let's duplicate this and let's duplicate, oops, let's duplicate this. Okay. you would just switch it. Now, the question is, what is your favorite thing? So of course you have to switch your to my, but then you're good to go. And you say, my favorite thing is blah, blah, blah. Okay? Yes? So that's something important to understand about a question that has is in it. And this question is, this verb is often hiding in the apostrophe S, okay? But that's the only verb in this question. And because it's the word is, it does not need a helping verb. So this will tell you if you want present tense or past tense, okay? So it's going to go before your subject. Your subject's going to be this. So all you have to do is just switch them, okay? And then you'd have my favorite thing is, okay? Does that make sense? Okay, now let's look back at our questions. So do you see what they did here? They took this whole part, your favorite thing to do in class, blah, 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 and they moved it right here. My favorite thing to do in class, blah, 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 blah. So inside the pink and the blue circles is the same exact thing because they all go together. You just have to remember to change from your to my. But everything else is same, 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 same. And then you see what this is right here? It was this is right here, the apostrophe S. You're just gonna switch them, okay? Because the only difference between a question and an answer is where you put the verb. So when you're giving the answer, you swap them. In the question, they're either gonna take the is and move it to the front of the subject, and you just have to swap it back. Because in your answer, you always want the subject first and then the verb. But in a question, you want the verb first, okay? But if you're not using is, then you need a helping verb, which is going to be do, does, or did. And that's going to go on both sides of the subject. You're going to kind of sandwich in the subject. So you're going to find your subject in the middle of do, does, or did, and your action verb, okay? You don't need to use the do, does, or did in your answer, except for helping you know if you want present tense or past tense. Otherwise, you're going to use your action verb only, but you're going to change it to have the same tense as do, does, or did, okay? Give me a thumbs up if that makes sense. Okay. So here in this one, this is a what question. So this is a question word question. So we can see that we've got did is the helping verb, and trade is the action verb, and the neighbors is going to be the subject. And that's right in the middle. So we move that over here. We do not need to use did, but we need to say, oh, this is past tense. So trade needs to be past tense, traded, okay? Let's look at what is a blizzard. Well, we have a what question word question, what? Dun, 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 it's the superverb is. Is does not need a helping verb in a question, but we are going to put it in front of the subject. So all we have to do in the answer is switch these two, okay? So we'll take a blizzard, and we'll move that to the front. And we'll take is, and we'll move that to behind it. We'll just switch places, okay? Is can stay exactly the same. In this one, do you see in this question how they start with according to the story, comma? If you see kind of a phrase like this with a comma after it, then this is kind of just an introduction to the question. It's kind of saying, hi, Archie, I'm about to ask you a question, but I'm not going to start until after I finish the comma. So just ignore everything I'm saying right now. That's what happens before the comma. So if you see some words before a comma, you can really just kind of pretend that they're not there. Okay? And then you're going to see your question after that. Here's the question. This is a question word question because which is a question. Which storm is the deadliest? Now this question word question is tricky because do you see how the subject is in front of is? Right? And I want you to notice that which is not one of the 5 question words. Remember I said who, what, when, where, why? Who, what, when, where, why? I did not say which, right? I said who, what, when, where, why, or how. Which is a question word, but it's also kind of like an adjective. It's going to come in front of a noun. So you can't start a question with which unless your very next word is a noun. Okay? And then which is going to be kind of like a question that's make a choice, this one or this one. So which is a tricky, unusual question word. And so you're going to find, I think we're out of time for today. So I think I'm going to talk about this question tomorrow because storm is not going to be your subject in the answer. If the question is, which storm is the deadliest? You cannot say the storm is the deadliest. You haven't answered the question. So you can't answer this question using storm as your subject, right? That doesn't answer the question. It's like if I said to you, which food is your favorite? And you say, food is my favorite, right? You didn't answer the question, right? If this says, which storm is the deadliest? And you say, the storm is the deadliest, that doesn't answer the question. It doesn't tell us which one, right? So this is a really hard question because the subject of your answer is not even there. It's in your brain. It's in your knowledge. You have to know it. You have to be able to say, oh yeah, I know that, okay? In the other questions, we've been able to take the subject out, right? Like, why do we need? Here's the subject, we need. What's your favorite thing to do? My favorite thing to do is. What did mother make? The mother made, right? So in these other questions, the subject of your answer is in the question. What did the neighbors trade? The neighbors traded. What is a blizzard? A blizzard is. So these questions 1 through 6 are much easier because the subject of your answer is already in the question. You just need to swap places with the verb, okay? But with this question, it says, which storm is the deadliest? Your answer is not, the subject of your answer is not written down, okay? So let's see what they say. Oh, see right here. You see how the answer, the subject is not there. This is what you have to fill in, okay? So that one's a tricky one. All right, we're gonna have to stop there. We're on number 8. And I'll look at number 7 again tomorrow, but I'm gonna put a line right here. Okay, and let me hit save. And I'll call this past tense practice for Archie. Quick save. All righty. So tomorrow, because your test is on Wednesday, right? So tomorrow we will finish this page, look at the second page. And if you have any other questions I have not answered, you can ask me. Deal? All right. Good job.
Wait,
what?
Today when I'm going, you forgot to set my second name.
Book eating boy.
Yes. Bye-bye.
All right, bye-bye.